Happy recording in progress. Here we go. You get to see everybody. Welcome back, Andra. We've missed you. And there we go. Okay. All right. All these going on. Okay. And happy holidays or whatever it is that you are celebrating. I have so many things I want to share today. I have on my witch shirt. Not your basic witch shirt. So a little chanting to Hanuman. This is a quote my teacher, Robin, she said this the other day. The part of clinic that I'm doing with her this year, it's my first year in clinic with her, which means that myself and 4 other women who are in clinic just as I am, we sit with her while she does one-on-ones with people. So it's like 5-on-1. And we get to hear how she relates the herbs to whatever it is that the person is moving through, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentally. And what's so beautiful to watch is the way that she unfolds all the different vibrations in the person. So it's not like she just goes, okay, oh, you're experiencing inflammation in the body, let me give you this herb. She really goes right to the emotional, what is holding them in an emotional place. And it's just magical. And so the one thing that she said the other day was, no matter how many detours we are on or how many detours we make, we always are on our path home. And I just love that. Yeah, how many detours that the world, the universe gives us. You know, there's so many times that we're like, wait a minute, I don't want to go this way. And then all of a sudden you go that way and it's like, oh my God, I've never seen this neighborhood before. Or there's this sign that's meant just for me. Or no matter how many detours that you're on, you're still and always are on your path home. And that's very much the story of Hanuman and the story of how he was given all of these supernatural powers at his birth. And because he got a little bit naughty, because he was a little guy, they had to take his supernatural powers away from him. Excuse me, let me say it differently. They had to erase his mind that he had them. So it's not like the supernatural powers were taken. They were just erased so that he didn't know, he didn't remember that he had them. And then there was the moment that his friends reminded him, don't you remember who you are? And that's what all these detours do. It's like, no matter where you go, you're still you and you're still bringing yourself back home. So let me go ahead and mute and we'll do a little chanting to Hanuman. And is this going to mute me? No, right? No. Okay. Close your eyes. Om Hum Hanumate. Try. Om Hum Hanumate. 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 And then yesterday, Neil was outside weaving a chair. I'm just laughing because we all do that, right? And he came to the window and he said, "Do you have a Dharma talk for tomorrow?" And I said, "What kind of? I'm going to work with Hanuman." And he said, "Well, the bumblebees out here, they're pretty magnificent." He goes, "Nobody ever told them, right? The story. We've heard this so many times, but he was watching it in real time. No one ever told them they shouldn't be able to fly, right? Because their wings are so small. How many things did we do to ourselves that says we can't fly? But then we have our community that reminds us we have all these supernatural powers. And the biggest power is love. Come onto your hands and knees and press back into child's pose. No matter how many detours we are on, we always and still are on our path home. Long, deep breathing here. And then the next piece to that is we trust the journey that we're on. And even when it doesn't look the way we thought it would, or there's moments of confusion. I know I've been talking this week, if you've been in class, about the untold story of Sita, which is the name of a book. And it's so beautiful because it reminds us that the story of the Ramayana, which is Sita, Ram, and Hanuman, that if you read it in some of the traditional versions, it looks like Sita was a victim. You kind of get angry at the things she had to go through. But in this book, it explains everything that she moves through in her life is for the sake of humanity, the love of humanity, which includes herself. And it means there's going to be trials and tribulations, and there's going to be things that are difficult, but she attends to them through love. Come on up to your hands and knees. And do a little cat and cow here. Maybe close your eyes. And as you feel ready, press yourself back. Downward facing dog. Follow this cord to where it goes. Good, and then do a slow walking meditation. Bring your feet all the way up to your hands, standing forward bend. And maybe bend your knees here just a little bit. Draw the shins forward. Find the fullness in your feet. So not only are you on the mound of your toes, but on your heels. And then clasp your hands behind your back. Bend your elbows, shrug your shoulders towards your ears, get space. And then take your arms up and over any amount. Re-bend your knees, send your shin slightly forward. Bring your left hand to your outer right ankle, your right arm to the sky, and then press the tops of your thighs back. Straighten the legs, right arm to the sky reach. Re-bend your knees, take your right hand to your outer left shin, left arm to the sky. And just that slow pressing back of those inner thighs, so sweet. We're not locking those knees back. Bend your knees deeply, reach your arms forward, enough chair.
It is fun.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Bring your hands to your heart center, and then let your hands float to the floor in a prayer. Okay, as long as it was, I couldn't see it over there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Step your left leg back behind you. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Put that back heel a lot. Put that back thigh a lot. And then bend your elbows. And lay back. Throat back. Lift the heart just a little bit more. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take a breath in and bow inside that right knee. Take those arms up as high as they will go. Release those hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Stepping your left foot forward. High lunge. Bend those elbows. Lean back. Remind the throat to stay long. Beautiful. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take a breath in. Keep that throat back and bow forward. Hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Move forward to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Rise up into cobra. Press back, downward facing. Stepping your right foot forward. Walk to the left until you come to the center of your mat and bow. Deep release. Let your spine, let your vertebra release. Hands on your hips, push down your legs, rise up to stand. Turn your right toes to the front of your mat, bend your right knee, Virabhadrasana. Up through that side body, sink low through that pelvis. Send your left arm down your left leg, take your right arm up and back. Keep breathing as you straighten that right leg and bring it right into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Hanuman's Jayanti is a full moon. It's the time of the year of rebirth. Rebirth of awakening to the nature of who you are. No matter what twists and turns that brings you. Touch down, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Take it through a vinyasa if you'd like, moving through plank. Lowering down or staying right where you are. And as you feel ready, left foot steps forward. Walk to the right until you come to the center. And a deep bow. And again, just visualize your spine releasing. Each and every vertebra, relax, relax, winding. And hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up. Bring your left toes to the front of the mat, Virabhadrasana 2. Bending your right arm down, your right leg. And then straightening that left leg, coming into Trikonasana. Breathing. Breathing out. I want to say this is my favorite pose. I do. And then later I'll say something else is my favorite pose. I love how open this pose is. Main fingertip to fingertip. Breathe. And then touch down. Downward facing dog. And then take your knees down to the mat. And come back into child's pose. It was at this time when Sri Ram and Mata Sita appeared on earth. It is said that Vishnu is the energy of preservation. And whenever there is too much darkness, that he incarnates. And it is said that Ram is an incarnation of Vishnu and Sita is an incarnation of Lakshmi. So they always come together. And they appear on earth for the purpose of manifesting a complete and perfectly balanced human love. And they demonstrated the possibility for humanity to realize on earth quality of a higher divine love, not based on emotion or self-interest or desire or possessiveness, but on the interconnectedness and well-being of the whole. That's why go ahead and walk your upper body to the right side of the mat. That's why it's confusing in the Ramayana, because it seems like that she does everything perfectly well. And then all of a sudden she's banished, even after she gets saved, Ravana who abducts her and she's held hostage, and then she's saved. Go ahead and walk to the other side. And then she's banished to the woods because people say, well, maybe she had an affair with Ravana and maybe she didn't do all the things that you should do if you were holding the highest seat, but in her story, it says, no, she went back to the earth because the earth needed her. Mother Earth needed her, and to reconnect, to have her children reconnect with the earth energy for the generations to come. Come back onto your hands and knees and downward facing dog. And the devotion that Hanuman has is not on emotional devotion. That's a t-shirt. Inhale that right leg back and up behind you. Stepping that right foot forward, open back up to Virabhadrasana 2. And then take that side angle. So maybe your right forearm comes onto your right thigh. Maybe your right hand comes down to the floor. Get a lengthen. You want to create that space of dropping into your feet and connecting with Mother Earth as support, as guidance. And then release your hands down to the floor. Drop your left knee. Inhale your arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. And again, feel that weight dropping down into the earth. Feel yourself really drop low. And then reach your side body higher. Breathe into your side ribs. Open those armpits. Lean back, but send that right knee forward. Good, drop your hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee up. Step your left foot in just a little bit. Go straight on both legs. Maybe blocks underneath your hands. Again, see what it feels like just to let the spine get a little bit longer. And maybe that means bend your front knee for a moment and lengthen your side body a little bit more. Hug your outer hips. What I love in our practice, our asana, our physical practice, that even though there are certain traditional ways to play in the poses, that you can come out of the traditional ways and just feel your body and see what your body's asking for. Your body. Step forward to the front of your mat, standing forward bend. Inhale your arms out and up to the sky. Take a hold of your left wrist and pull to the right. And come back to center and switch sides. Come back to center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through your heart center all the way back down to the earth, touch the floor. Step your right leg back behind you. Lower your knee. Reach your arms up to the sky. Anjaneyasana. I know, right. We're taking a detour. We're going a different direction. Do it. I said it too, but I was hanging in there with it. Hold it strong. Good. Lean back, lean back, lean back. And notice what happens when you become vulnerable. You open up the front body. Gorgeous. Lower your hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee. Step your back foot in just a little bit. Go straight up both legs. And again, maybe have that moment that you bend the front knee and just feel how much more space you can create moving forward, and then push the top of your thigh back. And wiggle and jiggle that spine, release that. Good. Step to the front of the mat. Inhale the arms out and up. Take a hold of your left wrist and pull to the right. Push down through those legs. Come all the way back up. Switch sides. Good, reaching the arms up to the sky. Prayer comes through your heart and it melts down to the earth. Step back, plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Rise up into cobra. Press back, downward. Step that left foot forward, open up into Virabhadrasana 2. Left forearm on left thigh or deeper into that side angle. And just keep thinking of length and space. Give myself space around whatever has become confusing or unknown. Beautiful. Plank pose. Right hand holds you Vashisthasana. You can always drop the bottom knee. Lift that head, hands are head up, head up. Nice, left hand down, switch sides. And then please place your knees onto the mat. And press all the way back to child's pose. Without love, there is no dharma. Without love, there is no justice. For love is the very fabric of creation, of all that is. The purpose of Sri Ram and Manta Sita, their lives was to bring that love to the earth along with Hanuman, to awaken it to manifest this divine quality on the physical plane so it could serve as a model for all and the foundation for the future. Love was and is the basis of our lives, and it directs all of our actions. This is Hanuman's message to us. Devotion without emotion. And I'm not saying that we don't have emotions and we shouldn't have emotions, but sometimes we get very one way. Let yourself go on those detours. Let yourself drive home. Well, some of you are home. Let yourself, when you go out, go a different way. Take a different route, one you've never taken before. Come on up, downward facing dog. Jump to squat. You cannot squat. Find a chair, pose, something else that really work with the groin. Take your right arm inside your right knee. Take your left arm to the sky. That's it. Nice, Lisa. And then switch sides. Nice, Richie. Push that arm into that knee and really get those eagle wings. Open up the span of the arms. Fingertip, fingertip. And then touch down, straighten those legs, lift your feet. And roll up one vertebra at a time. Roll up slow. Once you arrive, let your arms just float alongside of you. Close your eyes. No matter what each word you are on at any given moment, are always loving yourself. Your eyes open, hug your left knee into your chest. And then reach back for that ankle, not for just. Take that right arm up to the sky. Pull the rib cage in. Keep thinking of lifting your heart and very slowly lean forward. Like it doesn't even matter how far forward you go. Very slowly. Keep kicking your foot into your hand, lifting your chest, softening your ribs. Beautiful. Come on up and switch sides. Take inventory, though. See that you're not pushing your rib cage forward, you're not overarching your spine. Use that back foot to press into your hand. See that that is like the most important thing, that you're opening up that shoulder and that your heart is just moving forward in response to opening the shoulder. Good. And gently. Good. Feet together, bend both knees, sit back into the chair. Bring the hands together at your heart center. Prayer twist to the right, left elbow hook. Just for fun, look down to the floor and send your left leg back behind you, but keep it off the floor. Lift it up. Left leg off the floor, up. Good, bring your left foot up to meet your right. Come into chair. Reach your arms forward and up. Hands at your heart center, navel in. Prayer twist to the left. Hook the elbow if you can. If you can't, That's fine. You find that resistance. And then lift that right leg up, taking it off the floor. Maybe keep it bent, right? Who cares how it looks? Bring it up. Good. Bring both feet back to the front of the mat. Come back to the chair. And rise up to stand. Bring your hands to your heart center. And here you can resume breathing. Back into your breath. Close your eyes. So many wonderful conversations to be had here. It is that we engage with inner life. How we approach this lifetime and the gift of this lifetime. How we play victim or not. How we see what love truly is. On your arms to the sky. Exhale down forward. Good. Step that left foot back behind you. We're kind of coming to warrior one. Warrior one. Drop your back heel. Inhale your arms to the sky. We're going to take your hands behind your head. Take your elbows in toward each other. And then curl your chin into your chest and just round back. And keep that. And then press your head back, lift your arms up to the sky, and keep that feeling of contraction in the rib cage. Good. Clasp your hands behind your back and bow forward. Let your hands float to the floor, spin up your back heel, and come into a standing split. Bring that left leg up to the sky. Remember that right low belly has to lift a little bit faster. Take a detour here. Bring your hands to your heart center. Come up to Virabhadrasana 3, third warrior. Release those hands back down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Take it through vinyasa of choice or none at all. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. The warriors are those opportunities. We stand in power. Stand committed to this journey, no matter how it looks. Hands behind your head, elbows come in toward each other, tuck your chin into your chest. I love that back body getting nice and full and rounded. Keep that. And then press your head back, reach your arms to the sky. Keep that back heel planted here as you clasp your hands behind your back. Bow forward. Again, keep attention to that back leg. Releasing your hands to the floor, spin up the back heel, taking that right leg to the sky, standing split. There's always this moment when I come into any kind of a split pose that I want to feel that energy of squeezing my legs toward each other, right? So the inner lining of the leg really kicks on. And that way, when now I bring my hands to my heart center, I can come up to Virabhadrasana 3. But release your hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. But roll forward to plank, take your right hand again to hold Vashisthasana. And this time, reach your left leg up to the sky. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good, left hand down to the floor, switch sides. And again, separate your legs, even if your bottom knee is on the mat. Gorgeous. Lift your heart just a little bit more. Lower the hands, lower all the way down to your belly. Turn your cheeks to the side and rest. Went on to say, I don't want to think about it like how many things I could have done if I knew I could fly. I want to think about it as now that I know what's stopping me flying, stopping me from living that most powerful life, precious life. Another quote from Robin, someone was saying how that was very difficult because the life they used to have, they want back due to a circumstance that changed it. And she said, well, what if that the life that's coming your way is more extraordinary than you could have ever imagined? Why go back? Why not trust that forward motion? Reach back for those ankles. Forehead to the mat. Think of the rib cage not pushing into the floor, but lifting the navel up. And then lift both halves of the body, come into bow pose. Good, release and back, go downward facing dog, Svanasana. Holy. Good, inhale that right leg back and up behind you. Send your right knee forward for pigeon. If you need to come to your back, feel free to do that. And then if you're on pigeon with your belly facing the floor, I want you to walk your hands back and use your left hand to hold your left ankle. Left hand, left ankle. If you can reach your right hand back for your left ankle as well, do it. Otherwise, you're squeezing your knees in toward each other. And then notice how beautiful it is to take the back bend without popping the ribs forward, but finding the navel moving in and up, and then pressing your sit bones back and wide. Because the minute I take my navel in and up, I'm going to over scoop my tailbone, right? Take that tail back. Beautiful, everybody. Nice. And then gently release the back foot if you're there and come forward into pigeon. If you're on your back, right ankle on top of left knee. Walking yourself back up, swinging your left leg forward until your left knee comes on top of your right knee, or your left shin comes in front of your right shin. Left knee on top of right knee, go Navasana, or left shin in front of right shin. You can sit up on a blanket here if it makes it more doable for you. Activate your shins, squeeze your shins in toward each other. Flex your feet, or at least press your toes to the floor, and then come forward any amount. Then come on up, unwind, downward facing dog. Vinyasa if you'd like. Maybe Vashisthasana if you'd like. We're going to meet on pigeon, in pigeon second side. So be your left knee coming forward on your back, left ankle to right knee. Those of you who have your bellies facing the floor, you'll walk your hands up and reach back for your ankle. Maybe one hand, the left hand, right hand, both. Squeeze those knees in toward each other. The other little trick here is to press your right knee down into the floor and drag it forward. And then find that opening of the heart, opening of the chest. Slowly release. Come forward onto your forehead if your belly's facing the floor. This is when Sita returns to the forest by her own choice. She says these animals, these trees are a manifestation of love. For no other reason have they come into being. They are a reflection of the love that sustains and upholds the universe. Humanity once knew this, but all too quickly they have forgotten. And when they block the channels of love that flow between them and the rest of the natural world, she shook her head. It is my greatest desire to prevent this from happening. And so we must saturate the world with more love. This is our soul path. That's why I see to return to the forest. Everything was done from the love of humanity. And that didn't mean it was going to be easy, and it wasn't the way it was expected. Beautiful, everybody. As you walk yourself up, swing the back leg forward. And either you will place the knee on top of the knee or the shin in front of the shin. I think it's so funny, this Zoom thing. It's so funny because I can see my back of my head and the front of my head, and I look like I have a double chin. So I'm lifting my head a little higher. Like, Sheryl, just relax. Nobody cares. But I'm like, what's going on there? All right, thanks. I don't have a double chin. Walk yourself forward. Sorry for that little moment. I've just been laughing since we've had these two screens. See that place at your sacrum where that you have the top of the sacrum and the bottom of the sacrum, and you want to move them in two directions. One moves down to root, one moves up to rise. Good, inhale, come on up, downward facing dog. Bend your knees for just a moment and cat-cow here. Keep the knees bent so you're really working yourself right into your low back. Press your legs straight. Inhale your right leg back and up behind you. Stepping your right foot forward, lower your back knee, Hanuman. It was coming at some point. I didn't know when, but it was coming. You can start Ardha Hanumanasana, so keep your left hip on top of your left knee. Dig your right heel down, draw it back. You can take a little detour and send your right leg slightly out to the right. Turn your right toes in. Take the top of your inner right thigh and move it back. Give yourself some more space if you can. Yeah. And then if you have that little side stretch where your right leg's a little bit more out toward the number 2 on a clock, then start to feel yourself taking that right leg a little further forward. It'll go, I promise. And then turn those toes back up and dig that heel down and drop back. Gorgeous. Downward facing dog. Right. Back foot forward, Hanumanasana. Did I do something before that? No. Yeah. Dig that heel down, draw back. If you're taking that little detour, your left leg is out to the left. Slightly turning the toes in, which just takes that groin way back. Yeah. Like you overemphasize that sit bone opening that's the right to the side. And then once that feels like you can go a little further with that left leg, then you can squeeze that leg back to the center where it is. Good, walk it back in, downward facing dog. Walker jump to squat. I think squats might be back. For those days that you're just like really busy doing things, mine would generally be cooking or something like that, and you just go into a squat, you're like, oh God, yes, right? And I know for some of us knees challenge squat. I get that. There's such a release in your back as in rounding that back just a little bit. Good, lower your seat all the way down. You might want to be on a blanket here. Bring the soles of your feet together. Wiggle your butt back. And then come forward any amount, Baddha Konasana. Slowly come on up, pause, and feel. Take your right leg forward. Your left knee drawn in, let it fall out to the side, Janu Shirshasana. Twisting forward, bend over that right leg, so twist your navel toward the right leg and bow forward. Navel stays in. Come on up for a moment. Take your left knee and send it further back behind you. So you're just doing a wider open of your legs. And then take your right hand on your left knee. Take your left arm over your ear and stretch over that right leg. And you're going to release your right hand and turn back over your right leg. So it's a deeper twist as you come forward, releasing that left hand down to the floor or to the leg. Breathe your body back up. Switch legs, so we're going to bend the right knee. And making sure that it's just in that regular Janu Shirshasana place. Knee is just pointing right out to the side. Navel in, get nice and long, and then turn over that left leg and bow. One up. And then take that right knee further out, back. Take your left hand onto your right knee, side stretch, right arm over that left leg. Then take that space that you created and turn over that left leg. Yes. Slowly come on up, stretch both legs out in front of you. Bend your knees. Lift your feet off the floor. Navasana Pose. Put your butt down, feet up. Good. Put your feet back down for a moment. If you're in the room, you might have a wall behind you, so scoot to the, you do have a wall behind you, scoot toward the front of your mat a little bit more. If you're at home, you have a wall behind you, do the same thing. Go ahead, once again, lift your feet off the floor. Into that wonderful boat. And then start to lower yourself down to a half or to the point you're just lifted right off the floor. And then lie on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Maybe take happy baby pose. And then plant your feet. Lift your hips off the floor, coming into bridge. Maybe clasp your hands underneath you. Maybe stay exactly where you brought yourself. To see to as she brought her boys into forest. Just remember the celestial world is inside of you. See how beautiful it is. And that is the world we want to manifest here on earth. She came to the river and said, look how beautiful the earth and the rivers, the waters, the sky. Let's restore that love to the forest. So much power contained in being a human. Lower those hips down. Pause here and just breathe for a couple of moments for constructive rest. And then I'd like for you to hug your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg. Scoot your hips slightly over to the right. And then take spinal twist, bringing your right knee down to the left, and then bend your bottom knee if you can, and reach your right hand down for that ankle, if you can. This here is my favorite pose. In the moment. Take a look right next to you. There you go. Lay on your back though. Yeah, there you go. You're reaching for the other ankle. There it is. But don't worry if you can't reach that ankle. Come on up, switch sides. By the way, tomorrow we have one class with Lauren, our brand new amazing teacher at 10 o'clock. Come live or on Zoom, both will be. We'd love for you to meet him. Okay, and come back onto your box. Take your inversion here. Maybe that means legs up the wall. Maybe it means headstand, handstand, form balance. I believe you. Maybe it means going to the bathroom. This one part in the Ramayana when that Ram, remember Ram, and if you don't know the story, Ram and Sita are exiled. Ram is exiled into the forest, even though he was supposed to become king. And so as he's walking through the forest, he comes across many different demons before Sita gets abducted. And this one demon that he comes to, he says his name is Virada. He says, I was once a celestial being, but I have been cursed to live as a man-eater, and only Ram can save me. So now that Ram, you are here, please kill me and release me from this curse. And it's just these incredible moments that you realize that when you're on your life journey and it takes a different path, right? And that you free yourself from some of these places that you've been so connected and so attached to. And just that type of awareness that I go this different direction because I need to. I want to be released. I want to be set free. These are not the ways that often non-yogis think, right? All right, I'm going to do one final thing that's kind of wackadoodly. That's why you guys hang out with me, because you're like, what wackadoodle thing is she going to ask us to do? So come out of your inversion. Come up to a comfortable seat. What? I know, can you believe it? I know. Thanks for noticing, dude.
Very slippery on the way.
Okay, yeah, when you leave, be careful. I know there's somebody cleaning the bathrooms. We're so in shock. What a good day. Okay, so come to a cross-legged position. Double chin, cleaning bathroom. So much going on in your class today. Okay, cross-legged position. So the first part of this is going to be, well, not the first part. Let me show you what I want you to do. It's sa ta na ma, which is pretty simple to do. This is just a really beautiful mantra that allows us to move through the flow of birth, death, rebirth, and just everything in between. So all of our life, all of its detours. But here's the fun part of it. So you're going to keep your hands up like this, and you're going to lift up your knees and lower your knees. So it's going to be sa ta na ma. And each time you touch a finger, you're going to lift and lower your knee. It's a brain balancing. And then you'll have a really amazing shavasana. So let's try it, okay? Do you all get it here in Zoom land? Do I have to explain it again or no? You're good? Okay, good. Great, Maria. Okay, here we go. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Sa, ta. Keep going. 31 more minutes. Just great for digestion too. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Sa, ta. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Release your hands down onto your knees and just take a moment in silent meditation. No matter how many detours, we are always and still in our very own path home. You can stay here. Come to lay on your back for Shavasana. Happens to be a quote from Ram Dass as well, that we're just walking each other home. A little different variation, but so sweet. Knowing together, we remind ourselves and each other we have all the supernatural powers that we need to commit to this dharma, to this lifetime. Love being the greatest gift, greatest superpower. Some of the choices that we make don't always seem to make sense. We're trusting and finding ourselves committed to what we came here for. Raising consciousness, raising humanity, raising ourselves. If you're lying down, let your body stretch and yawn in any way that serves you well. If you're seated, you can also take a little spinal twist. If you're on your back, hug your knees into your chest, roll to the right side, come on up to sit. Bring your hands to your heart center. Deep breath in for the sound of Om. Sliding your hands to the face between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everybody. Make it great. Go play.
What time did you go to the restaurant? 7:30.